teacher's information will be on this first slide. You'll be able to reach them through Gmail or Remind or some other type of communication platform between 9:30 and 11 and 12:30 and 2. So make sure that you're trying to do your e-lessons around this time. That way they're available if you have questions. All right, this second slide over here, so you can navigate by looking at these slides, tells you that you have different activities you can choose from. If it has this little blue icon, that means it requires the internet for you to be able to complete it. But if it has an X, that means you do not need the internet. Everything is actually embedded in this Google Slides. So one thing I want to point out to you is if you look over here on the left, over 100 slides. We are not asking you to complete every single one of these slides. Please do not go through and do all of this work. What you're going to do is you are going to choose one activity per subject to complete. So if I go to the next slide, I'm just clicking over here on the left. It says choose one activity from each subject area to equal a full e-learning day. By the end of the day, you should have completed one activity in ELA, math, science, history, and taken a brain break. So every slide or every activity when you're finished will take you back to this slide. And so if I'm ready to do my ELA activity, what you're going to do is click on the word ELA, and it brings up a little link here. And that's going to link you to the ELA page. So here are my 4 options. You can see that there are 2 that do not require the internet and 2 that do require the internet. You can choose which one you want to do. If you choose to use iReady, when you go to Clever, you would just log in with your school-provided Gmail account if it prompts you, and you just have to complete one lesson. In order to use Epic, your teacher will have to have given you an Epic code. Other activities are actually in this slide deck. So if you want to complete a little writing, a would you rather or paint, what you would do would be to click on that, and then it says take me to slide 11. And so this is where I'm going to start doing my writing. So would you rather sing or paint? Double click and begin typing. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to click 2 times. Make sure my cursor's at the end. I would rather sing. I love singing. It is my favorite thing to do. Okay, so you would continue typing, and when you're finished, come down here to where it says go home. This is after every activity, it says when you finish, click the arrow to go home. So I'm going to click back on this link, and it's going to take me back up, and now I've done my ELA activity. Now there is one thing I forgot, and I'll show you with the math. So let's say I'm ready to go do math. I'm going to click on slide 5. We are asking just to help us figure out which assignments you've completed. If you decide to do, let's say, the iReady lesson, if you'll just move the light bulb on that lesson, so that way we know that this is what you decided to do. Or if you want to do some practice problems over here, just move the light bulb there, go do the practice problems, slide 105. And this is a good example. Sometimes all of your problems will be on one page, but sometimes you have to go to multiple pages. So here's one problem. I would complete this problem, then I would click next, and I would complete this problem, and I would keep clicking next after I work out the problems. So for all of these, it's asking me to double click to put in my response. Some of them too ask you to insert an image from your Chromebook. Directions on how to do that. All right, another problem. And then I've reached the end of this activity, so I'm not going to go to the next slide. I'm going to click go home. And now I've done my math activity. And so now I'm ready to do a different activity. So you're going to do that for all 5 subjects. And then when you're finished, you can click this little finished button. And it's going to just double check. Are you sure you've done 5 activities? Because in order for you to be counted present today, you have to have completed one activity from every subject. We hope that you enjoy your e-learning day and hope that this has been a fun process for you. But if you have any questions, remember you can always reach out to your teacher, and you can also reach out to the tech support that's on our website.